guys, my name is Vanessa Smedley and I am a painter. Today we are continuing my little series on the basics of watercolor. So we are going to do 4 more of the basic techniques that you need in order to be successful in watercolor. So let's do this. So dry brushing is when you turn your brush on its side and you use the belly of the brush to scrape across the paper with kind of a dry mix of paint, and it paints the mountains and it leaves the valleys white. So it's really good for sparkling water on the ocean. It's really good for tree bark. It's really good for foliage on the tree in the distance. So I'm going to show you how to do those things. So we've got like a nice sea mixture, and we're just gonna turn our brush on its side and we're just gonna drag across the paper like that. And you can see how it's hitting and missing. And you can just do that until your little heart's content on your sea, your ocean area. And come back in with darker colors for, you know, shadows and that kind of stuff. But that is dry brushing for a sea. And then I'm gonna do the same kind of thing for the foliage for a far off tree. You just kind of hit and miss with your brush. That may be too wet of a mixture. And add some darker colors for shadow areas if you want. I'm gonna swipe a little bit of grass down here just so that we can see what that looks like. And then a tree trunk. I'm not gonna get super detailed with this. I'm just gonna, you know, swipe in a little tree trunk there. Connect it to the ground using that, like that. And that is dry brush technique. You can play with that as much as you want. And it's a great technique to have for creating texture. Okay, so the next one we are going to do is a flat wash, which strikes fear into the heart of many a beginner because it is rather tricky to do if you've not seen someone do it before. So you want to make sure up front to have plenty of paint. You don't want to have to stop and mix again. Number one, it may not be the same color again, but number two, you're going to have dried up lines. By the time you get back from mixing, your paint will have dried and then you'll have ugly lines in the middle of it and it won't be flat. Flat wash meaning just completely uniform and flat and with no variation. So that's what we're going to try to attempt today. I actually have a little bit of an incline on this right now. I usually work flat, but right now I have this lifted up because it actually helps with a flat wash to have a downward flow. So I have a bunch of purple mixed up over here and we're just going to start. I have a number 6 Quill brush because it holds lots of paint. And we're just going to start at the top and work our way down. And what you want to look for is a bead. You see that bead, like the wet paint? As long as you have that bead at the bottom flowing down, you should be fine as far as getting your wash to be flat. Once that bead starts drying out, that's when you get in trouble. And there is a flat wash. And once that dries, it should be pretty uniform. Okay, so this next one is called a graded wash, and that is where it starts out darker and then goes lighter or vice versa. They call that these days an ombre effect, if you want to be trendy and cool, which, I mean, I never have been. So anyway, I'm going to start out with an ultramarine, and you want to make sure that you have enough paint mixed, again, just like the flat wash. And you want to start out darker at the top. And then add a little bit of water. Add a little bit of water. Add some more water. And add some more water. I maybe could have done that a little darker, but I think you get the picture. That is a graded wash. Okay, so the next one is lifting. So I started off with a nice wash of ultramarine blue, and I am going to lift some of this paint out so that you can see that, you know, you can remove some of the paint and it'll be fine. So some people use regular paper towels. I use shop towels because it has a flat pattern rather than having paisley or dots or some kind of weird pattern that could end up in your paint. And a lot of people use this for clouds, and so I can show you what kind of pattern. You kind of just scrunch it up and you lift out a cloud type pattern. And you can just do that to your little heart's content. And it lifts the pattern out, I mean the paint out, and it makes you a nice little cloud. You can also lift it out with a brush, a damp brush, not sopping wet, but damp, just like that. And sometimes you have to do it a couple of times because the paint will close back in around it. This is really good for lifting out highlights and on, you know, on apples or spheres or whatever, highlights on whatever. And there's one more way that you can do this, but we're gonna have to let this dry first before I show you how to do that. Okay, so now we have this dry, and I am gonna take just clean water and a flat brush. This is a 3/4 inch flat. And I'm gonna go over it a couple of times here. Just back and forth, and dab it out with a shop towel or paper towel or whatever. And that's an easy way to put in highlights in water or highlights in whatever you want to do. So that is lifting. And here they are with the tape removed and dry, just so that you can see the final result. And there you have it, 4 more of the basic tools that you need in order to become a great watercolorist. I hope that you enjoyed watching that, and I hope that it was at least a little bit helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that fun stuff, because it helps to get this channel in front of more eyeballs. Yeah, eyeballs. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.